The CEO of Southwest Airlines, Gary Kelly, joining us now. Gary, good to see you again. Thank you for being with us.
Great to see you and great to be back.
Fuel costs having an impact on your bottom line. Tell me about it.
In the third quarter, actually, our fuel costs were down a bit, $3.16 a gallon, which was better than last year and about where we were in the second quarter. We had all-time record earnings, by the way, in the second quarter. So the real story in the third quarter was economic softness and some demand softness. But the outlook for fuel prices in the fourth quarter is a lot worse.
Right.
Unfortunately, we've seen crude rise and jet fuel and other refined products rise. So very, very disappointed with that. But we're obviously going to make what adjustments we can.
All right, you mentioned a bit of sluggish demand in September. October looks a little bit better for you, but talk to me about that overall in terms of demand. I mean, we saw revenue per passenger, per available seat mile up, but you saw traffic down a little bit. Talk to me about what trends you're seeing.
Well, it's really the story we've seen the past 3 years, where there's been some softness in the summer followed by a pretty decent fall in 2010 and 2011, and so far that's exactly what we're seeing again here in 2012. All-time record second quarter. We had very strong revenue growth, a little sluggish in July, August, but September was weak. October is right back on track, and actually we're seeing very strong revenue growth in October. We're up 4%. So hopefully those trends will continue and we'll get past some of this political uncertainty and the fiscal cliff concerns and look forward to a good 2013.
I got to say that fiscal cliff stuff has got to worry people who are traveling, particularly in the new year. Do people book out that far with you these days, or has the trend, has that window shortened and you're not seeing people who might be traveling at Christmas not booking?
People don't book that far. Generally, we'll start a month and have only half of the bookings in place. So November 1st, we'll have half of the bookings that we would ultimately expect to get for that month, as an example. Obviously, Thanksgiving and holiday travel, people do book out longer. But as far as us having any real meaningful insight into the first quarter of next year, as an example, we don't. It's just too far out.
Yeah, well, that is, of course, the concern, because if you were in a position to be hiring, you might be thinking about what the impact of that fiscal cliff will be. That's why it continues to be such a serious problem. Hey, look, you talked about you're worried about where fuel costs could go, and as a result, you said that you really have to get more aggressive about cost cutting. Where would you do that?
I'd start with our corporate overhead. So we're going to look to cut $100 to $200 million out of our corporate beginning in 2013 and just have very, very strict hiring controls in place. I don't want to make cuts with our frontline customer service efforts. We're seeing very good results there. We've got record traffic in the third quarter, even with some of the revenue weakness we saw, was really more on the fare side. But the demand is there if we can keep our costs low and keep our fares low.
And the Airtran acquisition is going well?
It's going really, really well. It's our top priority. It's a tremendous amount of work, of course, but we will have the exciting development of connecting the two networks together and publishing a lot more itineraries early next year, and that should be a boost for 2013 as well. But things are going well.